it's Christine, and today I am up with Bella Boulevard for a fun challenge of using the new Florence alphas. And so this layout is one that I have had in mind for quite a while. When I heard the lyrics of this song, A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman, I felt like it was kind of the things that go through my head at night as I'm laying there kind of echoed what he was saying in the song. And so I had in the back of my head, I want to do a layout with these lyrics. But I was waiting for one, the right product, and two, the right picture of myself. So on my daughter's birthday, we happened to be near this staircase that lit up in rainbow colors. And it was so cool. And I was like, there we go. There's my picture. And then I got my Florence alphas from Bella Boulevard in all the colors of the rainbow. And I was like, boom, there we go. There's my product. So this was all kind of a layout that was churning around in my head for quite a while. So I am happy to put it down on paper. And it's always fun when you kind of have an idea in your head, but you need the right stuff to execute it. And that comes together. You can see I've cut out my pictures now into two circles, and I'm using my T ruler right now to create my lines of color. And I'm not going to make you sit and watch this whole thing, just to give you kind of an idea though how I approached it, how I got my lines going. I am putting them down right now very straight, and then I'm going to go back and stagger my letters because the size of these are already staggered. And so putting them totally in a straight line was a little too rigid for the look. It just didn't look quite right. And so I went ahead and staggered things to change it up a little bit, and that worked better. So you can see right now I've got the yellow, I've got the guacamole green, and I am working through each of those. I did think about drawing like a pencil line, but I decided I didn't want to, well, I didn't have a sharp pencil nearby. Really, that's what it was. So I decided just to use my ruler strictly for that. Not because I didn't want to erase the lines, although there is always that risk when you use a pencil eraser to erase lines that it's going to leave a mark. And so I always am really hesitant about that. And so having this clear ruler on hand, I just went down that route. Now these Florence alphas are, I want to say about 3/4 of an inch tall. And so they're the perfect size for creating a longer title or doing some really cool journaling or 2-in-1 as I've done on this one. They are not ginormous. They're definitely smaller than the original Bella Boulevard alphabets that we've seen. But just a really great size. They're not so small that you can't use them for a title, but not so big that you can't create a long title. Just a really cool size and available in every single one of Bella Boulevard's signature colors. Now, carrying on, I am using papers from all the new collections. My background paper, I think, is from Splash Zone that I was creating on. It just has some little light blue grid lines on it. And then you can see this one is from the Home Sweet Home. I might be messing up these names. Hopefully I'm not. I will link you up to them down below. But okay, yeah, no, let me correct that. This one that I'm using is the Home Sweet Home, not Splash Zone. So that one is my background. And, you know, I'm always looking for papers that will work well for a background. I like a little bit of pattern to it, instead of straight up cardstock, but not too much. And then you can see that pretty floral paper is from the Let's Go On an Adventure collection, which has both elements that are very feminine as well as elements that are very masculine. A really cool outdoors themed collection. And I'll get more, you know, I just got these like a few weeks ago. And so getting familiar with all the ones and which one fit in each collection takes a little time of playing and getting used to them. So sorry for the mistake there. But carrying on, you can see how it is already coming together. Now I'm going to just play a little bit and kind of figure out how I take this title and my base and add a little bit of embellishing, but not go too crazy. One idea I had was to add some watercolor stripes onto it. So I'm showing you my process behind it right now, and I'm testing things. I've taken different distress oxides in each of the colors that would coordinate, and I'm just putting a little water on my brush and running that across on my test sheet just to make sure I'm happy with the colors and that they're bold enough and bright enough, because I didn't want to immediately just do it first on my layout and mess the whole thing up, because adding all those letters did take some time. So that's what I'm doing here. I am using my brand new Tim Holtz glass mixed media mat, and you can see how nicely it works for this situation, where I can put my colors and see them really well over on that right hand side, and then I have the black side to be working on. This is a brand new product for me. I just got it about a month ago, and this is really the first time that I'm really using it for its intended purposes. But it was really nice, and it cleaned up super easy. I just took a wipe and wiped it down, and it was ready to roll again. And Distress Oxides, you know, you could go with watercolors for this process. You could go with Distress Inks or Distress Oxides. Distress Oxides tend to be my go-to first to at least see if it's going to work, because I have a good variety of them, and I just find I like the look of them. So you can see there that my purple is looking really pink on camera right now, but it really is actually purple down there at the bottom. I'm noticing that on the screen. Now, what I'm going to do is just take the color and just do a brush stroke. Straight out, simple, not kind of messy. It is kind of messy. Not worrying about it being exact or precise, even if I get a little bit of an angle going. Not going to worry about it. It's mixed media. You can't have it perfect. That's definitely one thing you have to let go of if you're going to add some mixed media, is that it's going to have some imperfections, and that's the beauty of it. And kind of the fun of it too. Like, you can just chill a little bit, which is something I need to do more of in my life. So fun in that respect. Now you can see I've also set some flowers on there, some ephemera. I always mispronounce that word, sorry. Some ephemera flowers on there. I'm not going to leave those. I ended up deciding it was just too busy with those, and so I have them sitting there, and I do that a lot as I'm creating. I'll set something down and look at it for a while and decide if I like it. Now, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you guys as viewers might not be like, I think it looks great. That is kind of the beauty of art and scrapbooking. Like, we all have our different things that our eye loves. So if you're thinking, it looks really good, what? You're crazy. Why are you taking it off? My apologies. But for me, it was just a little bit too much. It wasn't quite right. And so you'll see what I do in the end with it. But you can see now I finished all my stripes. I'm going to add some black mist splatters to pull in some of that black from the outside. And you can see I've got my whole quote in there now. It says, "Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake." And I just love the part about colors, and my head is full of them and ideas, and it just really shows the creative side of me. And so you can see where that quote fits, and if you're a scrapbooker, you're probably thinking, yeah, I could see where that quote fits. Whereas I was telling a friend about this, and she said, yeah, I don't lay in bed and think about art. I lay in bed and think about songs that I want to sing. And I said, well, that's the way your creative brain works. So kind of a fun, just a different fun approach to things. I love to include lots of text on my layouts. I always have. And so these Florence alphas really allow me to do that and embrace it. Now, I've got that. You're going to see the flowers come off, and you're going to see how I polish things off. So I'm going to pull out some heart hugs. I'm also going to pull out some of the new acrylic hearts, and I am going to add those onto the layout. I'm going to add the acrylic hearts on using my Ultra Strong refill in my Easy Runner Grand, because that will leave it clear. And so that's a good match for those acrylic hearts, because those are clear. I did not have a purple acrylic heart. So what I did, I had a couple of pinks. So I took the pink and colored it purple with my Copic markers, which didn't turn out quite as perfectly as I wanted, but it was okay. Again, sometimes you just got to roll with it. It wasn't quite the right shade. It had a little bit of streakiness, but I really don't think you see it unless you're looking for it. And so that worked okay. I think actually if I was going to do it again, I would probably try just some alcohol ink drops instead. So there you have it, the basics. I've got my hearts working their way down the layout in coordinating colors with the strips. Somewhat simple layout, but it doesn't look simple by any means. So thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to head on over to the Bella Boulevard blog to see more details if you want to. And we will check in with you again very soon. Thanks for being here.